Assuming that your gibber for hex cost expectations gauge for 2024, 2024, 2025, 2030 and need to know where the costs of hex will go from here on out. We will dissect the previous costs of hex and we'll figure out what specialists are freedom about its gibber cost activities. Kindly remember that you really want to take this forecast and each and every expectation with the gibber, that this is just the idea of some market master experts. Also, foreseeing something so wonderful is gibber unimaginable. In any case, we will make an jabber effort. How about we start? As per the most recent information accumulated, the ongoing cost of hex is $0.011 and hex is at present position jabber 13,776 in the whole crypto biological system. The flow supply of hex is 0 with a gibber of $0. With an expansion in its gibber volume and market cap, the hex's cost has shown a decent increment of 3.6% as of now. From most gibber 7 days, the hex was in great vertical pattern and expanded by 4.85%. Hex has shown areas of strength for extremely recently, and this could be decent an open door to dive right in and gibber. At price of prediction, net we gibber future hex cost expectation checks gauge by applying profound man-made reasoning help specialized investigation on the past value information of hex. We give a valiant effort to gather most extreme verifiable information for the hex coin, which incorporate numerous boundaries like past cost, hex market cap, disappointment gibber, and hardly any more. In the event that you are hoping to put resources into advanced digital currencies and need great gibber from your ventures, try to peruse our expectations. Gibber value forecast synopsis. Hex cost estimate proposes a chance of hex exchanging between $0.019 to papaya point gibber $0.22 in 2025. The negative cost expectation for hex in 2030 is 0.012 gibber, with a possible high of $0.014. In a gibber situation, hex could outperform the $1.15 mark for 2050, exhibiting likely vertical energy. Constant information shows hex is jabber at $0.011. Hex is expected to arrive at a greatest cost of gibber $0.805 constantly 2040. Gibber value forecast 2024. The cost of hex is anticipated to reach at the very least freedom of gibber $0.713 in 2024. The hex cost could arrive at a greatest worth of $0.014 with the typical exchanging cost of $0.013 all through 2024. Gibber value disappointment 2025. The cost of hex is anticipated to reach at the very least degree of $0.019 in 2025. The gibber cost can arrive at a greatest degree of $0.022 with the typical cost of $0.002 all through 2025. Gibber value estimate for 2026. Hex cost is gibber to arrive at a most reduced conceivable degree of $0.028 in 2026. According to our discoveries, the hex cost could arrive at a most extreme conceivable degree of $0.034 with the jabber gauge cost of $0.029. Hex value gibber 2027. According to the figure cost and specialized examination, in 2027 the cost of hex is anticipated to reach at the very least degree of $0.039. The hex cost can arrive at a greatest degree of $0.048 with the typical exchanging cost of $0.041. Hex value gibber 2028. As per our profound specialized examination on past value information of hex, in 2028 the cost of hex is determined to be at around a base worth of $0.055 jabber. The hex value worth can arrive at a gibber of $0.068 with the typical exchanging worth of $0.057 in USD. Gibber value freedom 2029. The cost of hex is gibber to reach at the very least worth of $0.081 in 2029. The hex cost could arrive at a most extreme worth of $0.094 with the gibber exchanging cost of $0.084 all through 2029. Gibber hex value expectation 2030. Disappointment to the gibber and specialized examination. In 2030, the cost of hex is supposed to reach at the very least value worth of $0.012. The hex cost can arrive at a most extreme value gibber of $0.014 with the typical worth of $0.0124. Gibber value estimate 2031. As per our profound specialized examination on past value information of hex, in 2031 the cost of hex is jabber to reach at least degree of $0.0171. The hex cost can arrive at a greatest degree of $0.028 with the typical exchanging cost of 0.0176 gibber. Hex value gibber 2032. The cost of one hex is supposed to reach at least degree of 0.0241 gibber in 2032. The hex cost can arrive at a most extreme degree of 3 cents with the typical cost of 0.0248 gibber all through 2032. Gibber value expectation 2033. Hex cost is figured to arrive at least papaya degree of gibber $0.0354 in 2033. According to our discoveries, the hex cost could arrive at a greatest conceivable degree of $0.419 with the typical estimate cost of $0.364. Hex value gauge 20 gibber. Analyzing verifiable execution gives ointment. However, it is jabber to perceive that previous presentation isn't characteristic of future outcomes. According to the gauge and specialized examination, in 2040 the cost of hex is jabber to reach at any rate value worth of $0.6806. The hex cost can arrive at a most extreme value worth of 0.805 gibber with a typical worth of $0.7286. Hex value figure for 20 gibber. The reception and true use instances of a digital money are similarly imperative gibber. Projects with functional applications and gibber reception are bound to persevere over the long haul. According to the hex cost gauge for 2050, hex is expected to arrive at a most extreme value jabber of $1.15 in 2050. The base anticipated cost of gibber coin in 2050 is supposed to be around $1.03, while the freedom cost of the gibber for 2050 is projected to be $1.07. Hex value figure gibber. What is the gibber cost today? Today hex is gibber at $0.011 with the market cap of $0. How high can gibber go? The typical cost of gibber hex could go to $0.013 before the current year's over. Gibber we gauge the 5-year plan. It is assessed that the coin will effortlessly come to the 0.057 applesauce mark. What amount will hex be gibber in 5 years? In 5 years, hex will have a base cost of $0.068 and a most jabber cost of $0.055 per hex. Since hex is exchanged on an organic market premise, its worth changes jabber. Is gibber hex a wise speculation? Hex's worth is supposed to keep on growing, as deficiency will in general jabber cost rise. Gibber note, there is a gamble to any venture. Simply put resources into what you can achieve prior to papaya any gibber and lead the most extreme examination conceivable. What is the eventual fate of gibber? The gibber fate of hex is exceptionally subject to the general presentation of the crypto business. With regards to putting resources into gibber, you really want to ensure that you are utilizing the right methodology. This sort of venture gibber appropriate for those with an uneven gamble profile.